Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is your WWE Raw post show for Monday, June 21st. Tonight on the show, Bobby and Woods in a Hell in a Cell. We've got some qualifiers for Money in the Bank, and Doudrop gets a name. Doudrop. How we doing in here? Are we good? What is that? There, that's gone. I was hearing some sort of, I think it's a fan. We had an extra mic on. Doudrop is the name for Eva Marie's friend there. Doudrop. D-O-U-D-R-O-P. She didn't seem happy with the name. That was a weird one. We'll get to that in a minute. We got some Money in the Bank qualifiers as well. Ricochet, John Morrison, and Matt Riddle all qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match tonight. Over on the women's side, Asuka, Naomi, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss all qualified for Money in the Bank spots. It's looking like it'll be a 8-person match on either side. Money in the Bank will be in front of fans. It'll be what the hell was that? That scared the shit out of me. Welcome, Rob. Thank you for becoming a member or remaining a member, whatever you did. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think it's going to be 8-person matches, and the next pay-per-view will be in front of people. It will be Money in the Bank in July. I'll give you the date for that there in a second. What's the production team telling me? I get notes during the show of what's going on. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good news. It's not about the show at all, but about something else. I don't know what that was for. Hell in a Cell happened on Sunday. The next pay-per-view will be Money in the Bank, and it's taking place in Dallas, Texas. Technically Fort Worth, but it'll be in front of fans. And I think we'll have some 8-person ladder matches. They've done 6, they've done 10, but I think this year it'll be 8. Because they announced 4 women from Raw. I think they'll do 4 women from SmackDown, and then that'll be that. We had 3 men from Raw announced tonight. Next week, we're going to have AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match to determine the 4th Raw spot. I'm assuming we'll have some qualifiers on Friday night for the SmackDown side of both matches, although we do have some time. I was a little surprised that we jumped right to the Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight when we do have, 3 more weeks? I mean, we're 4 weeks away from Money in the Bank now, and they already started the build tonight. I'm not mad at it. I was just a little bit surprised. We have 3 more episodes of Raw now after tonight to set up Money in the Bank, but Raw already has most of their qualifiers for that match, and they already have their Raw Women's title match as well. It'll be Charlotte Flair versus Ria Ripley again. And, they had their match last night at Hell in a Cell, and I saw Douglas Hepburn couldn't join the show last night, too mad about the Canadians losing. So he watched the Hell in a Cell recap today. Hell in a Cell, it was what it was. But at Hell in a Cell, Charlotte Flair and Ria Ripley wind up going to disqualification. Charlotte wins on disqualification when Ria pulls the top of the announce table on her, right? And tonight, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville cut an in-ring promo to address that. Ria Ripley showed up and was like, I did what I had to do. Charlotte shows up. She's like, I'm proud because I pushed you to the brink and whatever. And then Sonya books another match for Hell in a Cell. For Money in the Bank. She's like, Rhea, you cheated at Hell in a Cell, and now it's another match at Money in the Bank. Non-title, or no, for the title, but like stipulation, no. They made this whole big deal about Rhea getting disqualified. Then they made a rematch where Rhea could just do the same thing and get disqualified and hold on to the belt. Why didn't they do like a no disqualification match? Why didn't they do a stipulation where if Rhea gets herself disqualified, she loses the title? Like, why not address what happened in the last match by adding a stipulation to the next one? They chose not to do that. So far, we still have some time. Hopefully they figure it out, because it didn't really make a lot of sense. It was an uneventful promo from Rhea and Charlotte tonight. They didn't wrestle, either of them. They wrestled last night, so they got the night off. That's fine. That's fine. We don't need to see them in the ring every week. Did anybody check out Raw tonight? I'm seeing people in the chat. Bob, Cote, Mako, Lauren Cronish, Angelo, my man, out in Laval. Angelo Contagonis, Doug Hepburn. Did anybody actually watch Raw? Anybody have a match of the night? I'll tell you what my match of the night was. Riddle versus Drew McIntyre. Tremendous match. Tremendous. Riddle, every single week, is the best part of Raw. Every single week. He had a really good match tonight with Drew McIntyre. Beats him clean with a victory roll. Middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Drew was selling his injuries from Hell in a Cell, and you could see he was all welted up still from the kendo stick attacks last night from Bobby Lashley. Nevertheless, Riddle did beat Drew McIntyre tonight, which is good in many ways. A, Riddle, gets a big win. And B, Drew lost to Bobby last night, and the stipulation was if he loses to Bobby in this match, he can never challenge Bobby for the WWE title again. But if he would have won this Money in the Bank qualifier, he could have won the Money in the Bank briefcase, which gives him a shot at the title whenever he wants. So it's good that they didn't kind of back themselves into a corner there. I honestly thought that Drew might wind up winning Money in the Bank and then, just hold it until Bobby's not champion anymore. But no, Drew McIntyre will not be in Money in the Bank, although he might be, because he's got a last chance qualifier match next week in a triple threat with Randy and AJ Styles. I think Randy's going to get that spot, though, and we're going to see some friction between Riddle and Randy. As you saw earlier in the night, Randy lost his qualifying match. It was John Morrison beating Randy Orton. Miz was ringside in a wheelchair. He's injured, and he tried to kind of distract Randy and get involved. So Riddle shows up with his scooter, starts chasing Miz around the ring. Miz is in a wheelchair, Riddle's on a scooter. Randy gets distracted by all this. Morrison hits him, drops, hits a Starship Pain, little flippy moonsault thing in the corner. 1, 2, 3, beats Randy, qualifies for Money in the Bank. Distraction finish, of course. Nevertheless, John Morrison got a huge win. And so far, the lineup to this Money in the Bank ladder match is looking pretty good. Ricochet, Morrison, Riddle. I think Randy's going to find his way into it. I'd like for it to be AJ Styles next week, but I think it's going to be Randy in that triple threat. They teased some Randy-Riddle friction there after Riddle had won. Randy was watching Riddle's match with Drew McIntyre from the stage and didn't seem like he wanted to celebrate with Riddle, right? Like he wasn't happy that Riddle had won. He wouldn't talk to Riddle. Riddle's like, "Talk to me, Randy. What's wrong? Why are you mad?" And Randy's just like, mean face. Lauren Cronish agrees. Match of the night was Riddle versus Drew McIntyre. Very good match. Very physical. Angelo agrees as well. Very physical. Match of the night. Yeah. Bob Cote liked the AJ Ricochet match. It was all right. Not anything we haven't seen before from AJ and Ricochet. I didn't hate it. It was fine. Just a lot of shenanigans outside the ring. The Riddle Drew match had no interference, right? There was no kind of distraction. There was no confusion. The only out that they gave Drew in losing the match was that he was injured from Hell in a Cell. But, like, it's not like Randy was ringside and distracted Drew, and that's how Riddle won. Riddle just won, which I appreciate. And these finishes, they've got to count for something. Ricochet beat AJ Styles when a whole melee happened outside the ring. This was the opening match. The Viking Raiders showed up. It seemed like a heel move by the Viking Raiders because AJ Styles had Ricochet set up for his finisher, the phenomenal forearm, and then the Viking Raiders show up for no reason in particular other than they are feuding with AJ and Omos because they're the Raw Tag Team Champions and the Raiders are the #1 contenders. But the Raiders came out kind of a heel move, distracting AJ when he was about to beat Ricochet clean, and then Omos charges at the Viking Raiders, flings himself through the barricade. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm, but Ricochet hits him with like a half-ass codebreaker. I actually didn't like the finish of that because there was a lot of distraction on the outside, and that codebreaker AJ got hit with there by Ricochet was not nice. It was pretty bad. I mean, he barely touched him. He hit him with like one leg. That was botched. So I can't give that match of the night. It was botched. Doug Hepburn saying Riddle Leahy, Randy, Corey Trevor Corey, Randy Leahy, Trevor Randy. I get it. I get what you're saying. What's your name, sir? It's Trevor Corey. That's my alias. My alias is Julian Leahy. It's a good alias. So Ricochet qualifies for Money in the Bank with that screwy finish there, beating AJ Styles. I don't think AJ Styles is going to be in Money in the Bank because he's tag team champion, and I think he's going to do something with Viking Raiders. I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to be in Money in the Bank because, like, it's awkward if he wins the Money in the Bank, but he's not allowed to challenge Bobby. So I think you just avoid that altogether unless you don't. So I think Randy makes the most sense because he's involved with something with Riddle. Riddle's already in Money in the Bank. So I think Randy probably wins that triple threat next week, but you never know. Support the channel. Don't forget to like this video. Leave a comment on this video. Become a member. Are you a member yet? Doug Hepburn is a member. Angelo Contagonis is a member. I see a lot of you are not members. Disappointed. I'm disappointed in the non-members. The regulars that are non-members, you don't get big points with me like Doug and Angelo do. Doug and Angelo, big points. I see their comments. I'm reading them. You know why? Because they pop up in green. For me, I see their comments bigger. It's easier to see for me, so I see them because they're members. Everybody else is not a member. It's hard for me to see what you guys are saying in the chat. All right? And I'm less likely to read what you say. Become a member of the channel. Support the team. As always, click that join button, or you could go to donate.ringsidereport.net.
Super chat. Super chat.
There you go. Who did that? Harold, my man. Harold is a member. That's right, you are a member. And you super chat. That's why you're one of my favorite members, Harold. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate you. Support the team. Asuka and Naomi beating Eva Marie and Doudrop tonight. Doudrop. Eva Marie and Piper Niven, formerly Piper Niven, now Doudrop, they're interviewed backstage, and Eva says, yes, this is my associate, and her name is Doudrop. And Doudrop didn't seem too happy with her name being Doudrop. This is the second week that we have seen these people, and already they don't like each other. Already there's friction between Eva Marie and her protege, Doudrop. I don't know if I hate the name or love it. I'm not sure yet. Asuka and Naomi wind up beating Eva Marie and Doudrop. After Doudrop squashed Naomi last week when she didn't have a name, this week she gets a name that she doesn't seem to like and loses. Eva was actually the one who lost. Eva had tagged herself in when Doudrop was in control. And Eva tagged in, tried to get the 3 count on Naomi, only a 2. And then Eva wanted to tag back out, but Doudrop was like, no, jumped off the apron, didn't want any piece of the match, and then Eva Marie gets rolled up 1, 2, 3. And this was a tag team qualifying match for the Money in the Bank, so both members of the team are qualified, Asuka and Naomi, which is fine with me that they're in the match. I think it's great. But the way they got there, like second week in a row already, there's like friction. This team is not working. And they settled with Doudrop. I don't know. I mean, I think I like it. I think I like Doudrop. I don't know. So there's Doudrop and Eva Marie, and they got their thing going. The real story out of that is that Asuka and Naomi have qualified for Money in the Bank. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss also qualified for Money in the Bank tonight. Nikki Cross is backstage cutting a promo wearing some sort of mask, talking about her spit it. And I'm like, you're what? She's like, spit it. I'm like, you're spit it? No, spit it. Oh, spirit. Yeah, spit it. I didn't quite understand what she was saying at first with that thick Scottish accent. Thick Scottish accent. Like, when she said spirit, I was like, what you're saying spirit there, Nikki? I understand her, but it's like, huh? Sometimes you wonder. And she's got, I think I could show it to you. Brian Firth. Brian Firth dropping a super chat. He knows. He's a not a member of the YouTube channel, but he's a member over at the Buy Me a Coffee, which I think is at donate.ringsidereport.net, right? So Brian Firth is a non-member, but he super chats, and he's bought a lot of merch from the merch website, which you can buy over at merch.ringsidereport.net. And he's a member over at Buy Me a Coffee, which counts. If you're a monthly member, if you're paying every month a very small amount, it's like, $5 a month, and you support the Ringside Report Network. You do that, I appreciate you. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you to all the members. Harold. Thank you to the super chatters. We appreciate you. And now Brian, once again, the super chat leader of the night. So far tonight. I want to show you the Nikki Cross gimmick, because that was something. Although WWE did a copyright strike on us last night, because I showed a clip that was on their official Twitter page, which you would think they would want promoted, but for some reason we got a copyright strike on the video we did last night. But I think it's because we played audio. It's not WWE themselves, right? It's like they got robots out there doing that stuff for them, so it's like automatic. I blame Vince ultimately, though, right? Goddamn copyright strike. So I'm not going to show you too much video here tonight so we don't get the goddamn channel taken away by WWE, even though we're showing stuff that we've shown many times before. Many times. Here she is. Nikki Cross. Nikki! And her new gear. It's from WWE's official Twitter. Look at that. I'm showing it to you anyways. Whatever. We'll see what happens. There's Nikki. That's her new gear. Embodying her spirit. Her spirit. It's quite an outfit. She's got a mask. She's got a whole new bodysuit with like a cape on it. She's got a cape. She's like a superhero. She reminds me of Mighty Molly, like Molly Holly there when she was with Hurricane, right? Mighty, and the Blue Blazer, Owen Hart gimmick, right? She's like a cross between Mighty Molly and like the Owen Hart Blue Blazer. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, I mean, how do you not know? But I guess there are some people that don't know. There's the Blue Blazer, right? There he is. The Rocket, Owen Hart, legend. Blue Blazer. And Mighty Molly. And Nikki Cross, right? It's kind of like a cross between. A cross between. So that's Nikki Cross's new gimmick, and she teamed with Alexa Bliss tonight, which struck me as odd because when Alexa was starting this whole fiend thing, when she was possessed by the demon fiend, Nikki was her friend trying to get her out and trying to snap her out of it and bring her back to the good side, and Alexa was like, I don't need you, and then they had a match, and Alexa beat her up, and then Nikki Cross disappeared for a while. Nikki Cross comes back. She has this thing with Ria Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Now, all of a sudden tonight, she's like, oh, I'm teaming with my old friend Alexa again. And Alexa's a babyface. And they're feuding with Nia and Shayna, who are the heels, I guess. It was very strange. Very strange pairing tonight. The new Nikki Cross gimmick is, fine. I think it's fine. It's not like her previous gimmick was really working for her. This might work. This might work with kids. You know? I can see it working to a certain level for her. I'm a big fan of Nikki Cross. I have been for years. I think she's one of the most talented in-ring performers that they have, man or woman I'm talking about. She's phenomenal in the ring. When you see her move around, you see what she can do. She's really good. If you're really paying attention to the performer, she is goddamn talented in that ring. So I'm a fan, and I just want to see her succeed. I don't know if this superhero gimmick is the way to do it, but I'm rooting for her. I hope she does well. It was super weird to have her paired with Alexa Bliss, though, because Alexa's like a demon. Or, you know, and she's her ex-best friend. At one point, Nia held Nikki up so that Shayna could hit her, right? They do that classic tag team thing. I hold the person, and then you go to hit her, but she ducks out of the way and she hits her tag team partner. Except that didn't happen. So Nia's holding Nikki. Shayna goes to hit Nikki. Nikki ducks, but before Shayna could accidentally hit Nia, she stops her punch. And then Nia gets mad for some reason, and Shayna's like, you knew I was trying to hit. You set her up. You knew I was trying to hit Nikki. Why are you mad? Shayna goes to tag Nia. Nia jumps off the apron. She's like, I don't want any piece of this. It's like, what happened? Nia just looks like an idiot here, right? At one point, Alexa Bliss is on the top rope, and she looks at Reginald, puts him in a trance, and does the thing where she lifts her hand and then makes Reginald lift his hand like she did to Nia Jax on the pay-per-view last night. When Nia Jax, she made Nia do this and then slap Reginald by just moving her hand and staring at her. She did the same thing to Reginald, and Reginald was going to slap Nia, but then he like snapped out of it and got out of the trance. The voodoo trance of Alexa Bliss. That has not stopped. That's still going on. And, of course, Shayna got distracted by all of this happening and then got rolled up by Nikki Cross to lose the match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, in that fashion, qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Derek John says, I like Nikki Cross when she was in NXT. Exactly. She had that, I think it was Last Woman Standing with Asuka. That's, like, still one of the best NXT matches I've ever seen. And it was just on a normal NXT. It was ridiculous. And that's what opened my eyes to Nikki Cross. Nikki was kind of unknown at that point, And Asuka and her just had a killer match. And I was like, who is this? Who is this Nikki Cross? This is like 4 years ago this happened. I remember watching this match with my son who was just born. He was like a newborn, and I remember holding him and watching the match and being like, God damn, are you seeing this, pal? You know? And now he's about to turn 4 this week, so it's about 4 years ago that match happened. Tremendous match. Nikki Cross is super talented. I hope she does well. I really do. I don't know about the superhero gimmick. They tend to, they don't work at a main event level, but you never know. But if you look at superheroes of the past, Hurricane, Rosie, the superhero in training, a.k.a. shit, right? Molly Holly, like I said. Any other superheroes? I forget. Blue Blazer. I'm sure there were a couple more. I mean, Mr. America was kind of a superhero, right? The Hulk Hogan gimmick. But this doesn't really work. Doug Hepburn says he liked crazy Nikki Cross. Yeah, kind of. There's something there. We'll see with this superhero gimmick. I'm rooting for Nikki Cross, but I don't know. It's a weird. It was weird. When I saw it, I was like, this. I don't know if this is the ticket, They know she's good. They're just looking for something to do with her that'll be the angle, the gimmick that'll push her to the next level. I'm not sure this is it. And the problem is this is so big and bold and in your face that if you bail on it, it looks like a failure. And I don't know how Nikki Cross recovers from this failing. So I hope it works. Because if this doesn't work, then it's like, damn, well, we've retooled her a couple times, and we tried the superhero thing, we tried the crazy thing, we tried the nice Nikki thing, we've tried many different things, and it hasn't really worked. Right? And that's a career. So I'm hoping that this is the one that does work. Superheroes, that type of gimmick historically in wrestling has not done well as far as the top of the card. Hurricane made a good living. Still can get booked as the Hurricane and do well and make some money, but he's not going to be WWF champion as the Hurricane, right? Does Nikki Cross become Raw Women's Champion as this superhero kind of goofy gimmick, embodying the spirit of whatever, her spirit? It's a golden butterfly. There's a gold butterfly in the gimmick. I guess that's part of the spirit. I don't know. The promo was awkward, weird. The gimmick is. Does she need a mask? Do they need to cover her face? That was a bit odd too. What's with the mask? Molly Holly didn't wear a mask, but Blue Blazer did, and it was blue. And now Nikki's got the half mask thing, so she's like a Blue Blazer. Not Owen's best gimmick. And, of course, we all know what happened there. Whatever happened there. All right. Jinder Mahal. This is a fun moment in Raw. Jinder Mahal, Cedric Alexander, Jeff Hardy, Sheamus are all backstage complaining to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce that they don't get to qualify for Money in the Bank matches. And it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And also, 3 guys, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, they all lost qualifying matches tonight, yet they get to compete again for another chance next week, whereas Sheamus, he's the U.S. champion, Jinder Mahal came back a couple weeks ago. He's got 2 guys with him, 2 goons, and I guess they gave up on that. But Jinder seemed to say I'm going to take out somebody. I'm going to take somebody out from that match, and then I'll replace them, and then da-da-da. So Jinder might, be on the hunt. I think over the next few weeks, some of the baby faces in the match might get attacked and possibly replaced by some of these heels like Jinder or Cedric Alexander, although I hope not. I hope not. So Riddle versus Drew is my match of the night. Riddle wins that to qualify for Money in the Bank. I like the main event, though. Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods in a Hell in a Cell. So they gave a Hell in a Cell to SmackDown last week, and apparently the USA Network was not happy about it, and possibly this was like a consolation prize. Like, all right, we'll give you a Hell in a Cell, too. It was kind of weird. Did they just make it a Hell in a Cell? I think they're like, we gave one TV show a Hell in a Cell. We got to give it to the other TV show because the network's mad. So Bobby Lashley beats Xavier Woods with the Hurt Lock submission in a Hell in a Cell. Pretty good match. Woods did a top rope elbow drop through a table that was pretty impressive. Went flying, kind of overshot the elbow drop. It was pretty good. It was a good match, and I really liked seeing Xavier Woods get this kind of shine, get this type of spot. I liked it, I like seeing Xavier Woods get this opportunity. And like I told you guys, last week and the week before, like Drew was not beating Bobby at Hell in a Cell because we're setting up Kofi versus Bobby. Like that was clear 2-3 weeks ago when MVP started those promos with Kofi. Kofi is next. It's going to be Kofi versus Bobby at Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship. I'm quite convinced of it, and tonight convinced me even further. Bobby Lashley gets the win, and then Bobby starts beating up Woods after the match. MVP locks himself inside the cell, and Kofi can't get in. Doug Hepburn liked the finish. He says ending of Woods-Lashley was good with Kofi screaming to let him go. It was a good finish. It was good. And it got sympathy for Xavier Woods. He was getting beat up. Shows Kofi's upset and all, but kind of makes the WWE management out to be the heels again, right? Because like that cell, it could lift up, right? They could just like, dung, 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 like lift it back up into the rafters of the arena. Why didn't they do that? The match was over. Match is over. You lift the cell. I've seen a Hell in a Cell match where they lifted a cell. Right, Mankind and Undertaker, when Mankind's all fucked up in the ring, Undertaker's still standing on top of the cell. They start lifting the cell. Undertaker's standing on top of the thing. I've seen them lift the cell with a guy still on it. The match is over tonight, and I get it. They're trying to make Bobby seem mean, and it's fine. And I get it. Woods is, the guy that's going to get beat up, and Kofi's mad, and he wants revenge, and he's his friend, and all that. Yeah, fine. But with the match over, the WWE could be like, well, let's lift the cell. Match is over. We shouldn't allow one of our guys to just get assaulted like that 2-on-1. But no, they just kind of let Kofi watch his friend get assaulted in the cell, and that's how Raw ended. Maybe a moment after we went off the air, the cell lifted, and Kofi could jump in and help out, Possibly, but we'll never know. It just makes the WWE look like heels when you really think about it. Because, wait a second. Why don't you just lift the cell? Match is over. Who cares if MVP locked himself inside? The match is over. It's not a Hell in a Cell match anymore. It's just an assault. Shouldn't referees be coming down? Shouldn't you lift the cell? Shouldn't somebody stop this? Nah. Whatever. So that was a little weird, but hey. Match was good, and I really like Xavier Woods getting that type of spot. Really good stuff. He deserves it. He is everything you'd want in a pro wrestler. He's got an amateur wrestling background. He's got a great look. He's a PhD. He's got a PhD. He's got a very successful YouTube channel. He's a host on a TV show. Like the guy, he's got everything going for him. He plays multiple musical instruments. He's clearly a smart guy. He's a funny guy. He could talk. He can wrestle. He could do it all. The fact that Xavier Woods doesn't get more in WWE is surprising, to be quite honest. So I was happy that he got to main event Monday Night Raw against the WWE Champion in a Hell in a Cell match. He lost. Fine, whatever. He got the spot, which it's not a spot that he's accustomed to getting. So I was happy that that happened. They also threw toast at Bobby Lashley in the opening segment. MVP and Bobby were in the ring doing a promo talking about their match at Hell in a Cell where Bobby won. Appreciate you, Doug Hepburn. Everyone become a member. This is good shit, pal. I agree, Doug. I agree 110%. Like Rob Kloos, who's been a member now for 5 months in a row. Once you join, like, you don't want to leave. Why leave the team? It's the best team ever. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Doug Hepburn, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate the kind words as well. I do this show for you guys. Believe me, I'm not watching Raw because it's the best show ever. Although tonight was pretty good. I'll admit, like, I didn't hate Raw tonight. We had a lot of stuff happen. A lot of stuff was going on. We saw, Super chat. So much qualification happening. Ricochet, John Morrison, Matt Riddle, all qualify for Money in the Bank. Asuka, Naomi, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss all qualify for Money in the Bank. Nikki Cross debuted a new gimmick. Super chat. Doudrop got a name. Right? I mean, a lot happened tonight. Angelo says, it's about time Woods got to be in the main event of Raw. Hell yeah. Agree with you 110%. And Brian Firth says, agree Douglas Hepburn. He agrees with Doug, who says that everybody should become a member. I agree. I mean, Angelo and Doug's last super chat was more than it costs to be a monthly member. They're already members, and they just dropped super chats. One super chat that's more than their entire monthly membership bill. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Harold. Everybody super chatting tonight. Brian Firth, I believe, is the leader. Or is it Angelo? You guys are always battling. I believe it's Brian. Yep, Brian. Brian is the super chat leader of the night. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Next week on Raw, we have Jackson Riker versus Elias in a strap match. Yeah. I'm more excited about AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre in the triple threat. I think that'll be better. I think Randy will win. I wonder when we'll see Viking Raiders versus AJ and Omos. Possibly at Money in the Bank, but I could see them doing that match before on Raw. Seems like a long time to wait. The Viking Raiders won a number one contender spot like 2-3 weeks ago. But maybe you wait for the pay-per-view. And Charlotte Flair versus Ria Ripley, I still think needs a stipulation. It needs to be like, you know, the title can change hands on count-out or disqualification. Like, do that. Or, you know, make it a no DQ match. Or if you don't want to do no DQ because you got two Money in the Bank matches that are all kind of weapons, no DQ type of matches, do a steel cage where Rhea can't escape or get disqualified. Or, honestly, just do, you know, if Rhea gets disqualified, she can lose the belt. Just do that. Because when you have Rhea Ripley intentionally disqualifying herself on the last pay-per-view, and then you just do Charlotte versus Rhea again, where Rhea could just do the same thing, I mean, it buries Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. Doesn't make them look very smart, right? Running Raw. So, I think you need a stipulation for that. But a lot happened tonight on Raw, and we had some good matches. Like, Riddle versus Drew was the match of the night, but Bobby and Woods, they had a good match. John Morrison and Randy had a good match. AJ Styles and Ricochet had a good match. A lot happened. Doudrop made her official debut as Doudrop. Nikki Cross made her official debut as a superhero. And so many Money in the Bank qualifiers. Like, this was a decent episode of Raw. We had good matches. Stuff happening. surprising finishes. Like, if I told you John Morrison beat Randy Orton tonight on Raw, like, that's not surprising. You know, that's a big surprise. Ricochet beat AJ Styles, John Morrison beat Randy Orton, and Matt Riddle beat Drew McIntyre. That's pretty surprising. That's a lot of surprising finishes on Raw. Brian Firth dropping a super chat, and he says, I challenge you, Angelo. But I think Brian's already in the lead, but I think he's just trying to get Angelo into a battle. Angelo out in Laval, Quebec. Brian Firth out in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Doug Hepburn out in Kingston, Ontario. We are all over the map in Canada. I love it. I love the different provinces checking in. I love that we are all over the place. Montreal, Quebec is where I am. We got people out in Laval, people out in Ontario, people out in Saskatchewan. Not only Brian, but my man Patrick C. Hamilton out in Regina as well. He's a member of the team. He's out in Saskatchewan. I love how many people are watching us in Saskatchewan. I got to get down there. Doug Hepburn says, Andre the Giant Hidden Treasures was okay. Yeah, I liked it. It was all right. Mark Henry is crying a lot, though. Anytime any kind of Andre memorabilia popped out, Mark Henry's like, Mark Henry. I mean, you didn't know him. You know what I mean? You didn't. I don't understand. I mean, I get that he loves Andre, but good God almighty, was this guy crying. Angelo dropping a super chat. Where's my sound effect? Did it not hit?
Super chat. Super chat.
Thank you. I saw Angelo drop the super chat. I was like, where's the sound effect? Angelo dropped super chat. He says, Riddle's going to be a star in WWE. Mark my words. I agree with you, Angelo. Matt Riddle is the best guy on Raw. Each and every week, he's my match of the week, right? When's the last time he wasn't? Like, I'm not even sure. But I feel like every week when I come on here and I talk about Raw, Matt Riddle is stealing the show. Every single week. He is brilliant. In the ring, he's just so damn good. There's so much about him that I love. He's so strong. He's deceptively strong. The way he can just gut-wrench Drew McIntyre and anybody else on the roster is incredible. The way that he can lift and suplex and slam all these gigantic guys that seem big, too big for him, they're not, because he knows how to lift guys. He's got real amateur wrestling ability. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He fought in the UFC. The guy knows how to handle himself. The guy knows how to manipulate people and move them around. He's very, very talented in that ring. And he can fly. Like, this guy, to me, is a cross between Kurt Angle and Rob Van Dam. He's got, like, high-flying kind of stoner abilities of Rob Van Dam, mixed with, like, real intense, legit-looking grappling like Kurt Angle. And he's, like, strong as fuck. He's incredible. Matt Riddle is the man. I am more impressed with this guy each and every week. And the match tonight was so good. So good.
Super chat.
Patrick C. Hamilton jumping in. He says, come visit us in Saskatchewan. He says Sask. Is that like a short version of Saskatchewan? You guys call it Sask?
Super chat.
Is that a thing? Sask? Brian Firth says, New Day or AJ Styles? Who's behind Riddle? For me, it's AJ Styles. I'd say AJ Styles is actually a notch above Riddle overall, but Riddle might get there. Riddle might get there. Who's the Super Chat leader now? Does anybody know? Is it Patrick? Is it Brian? Is it Angelo? Guy's going to make me do math now. Brian, let's see. 7.
Super chat.
9.
Super chat.
Uh-oh. 14. Oh, this is complicated. Uh-oh, Angelo's dropping one now. I think Angelo might be in the lead now. but it's pretty damn close. It is pretty damn close. I appreciate you guys making me do all this math, confusing me as well. But I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Angelo wants me to come visit Laval. I'm going to Mirabel tomorrow. That's pretty close, isn't it? Hitting up them outlet malls in Mirabel tomorrow. Pretty hyped about it, to be honest. Anytime I get to go shopping, I'm pretty hyped, to be real. Angelo wants the production team to figure it out. Yeah, where's the production team? Production team might be asleep by now, to be honest. I'm not sure. Let me do it. I'll do it here, guys. I'll do it. I'm going to use a calculator too because it's been a long day and I don't trust my own math. All right? Huh? This is solid entertainment. I'm sure that you guys are super pleased to be watching me do math right now. I mean, what could be more entertaining, right? Counting up the super chat to try and figure out who's in the lead. I mean, that is just, it's fascinating, right? It's fascinating. So Brian's at 24. Angelo, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Angelo is a little higher than that. Yeah, Angelo is higher than that. Angelo's in the lead. Again. You did it again, Angelo! Angelo is in the lead. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Mako. I need a calculator because I'm not that good with maths. And I wanted to get it correct, you know? I didn't want to mess it up. Oh, the team is working on it. Oh, I just did it. Angelo is in the lead. I think he's at like 35. Patrick's at 25, and I think Brian's at like 28. Yeah, Doug says it's true. He didn't pay to see this. I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry, man. But, like, I'm going to wrap up the show anyways. I'm done talking about wrestling. Unless there's anything else you guys want me to talk about. But I've done Raw. Raw is done. Riddle is awesome. He is the man. You guys want to hear my top 5 on Raw while I wrap this thing up? I'll give you guys a last chance to kind of... The production team is working out the math, I think. So the production team is going to give us a final tally. And then while we do that, I will give you my top 5 wrestlers on Monday Night Raw. Men's top 5, women's top 5? What do you... Right now, my fave 5 right now, Riddle's got to be 1.
Super chat. Super chat.
Kofi's got to be 2 right now. Woods has got to be 3. AJ's got to be 4. Because AJ's with Omos right now, and it's just not as interesting. And my 5th most favorite wrestler on Raw, I'd say probably Drew McIntyre, because he's actually doing good stuff. Oh, Sheamus. When Sheamus is in the ring, it's Sheamus. Yeah, Sheamus. I would say Sheamus. Uh-oh. Patrick C. Hamilton. Oh, and Angelo. Good God Almighty. Patrick dropping a super chat says, go. And then Angelo drops another one, I think, to remain in the lead. Is that what happened? Is the production team on this, or? I think the team is working on it. I think the team is working on the math. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I think Angelo has taken the lead again. Once again, he's back in the game, back in the lead. But it is a tight one. Angelo and Patrick battling. Patrick coming out of nowhere. It was Brian and Angelo doing the battle, and then all of a sudden, ba-boom! Yeah. Oh, totals are on the screen. Okay, Angelo is in the lead. Sessions top super chatter is Angelo right now at 39-something. Thank you, Angelo. Appreciate you. Oh, Doug Hepburn dropping more. Confusing the math once again. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, Angelo and Brian were really battling, and then all of a sudden Patrick comes in and drops one. Of course, Doug is always going around. Appreciate you guys. You guys make this all worthwhile. You guys keep this show going. Sincerely keeping this show alive. You know? I appreciate you guys. So I gave you my fave 5 on Raw. I got Riddle. I got AJ Styles in there. I got Kofi. I got Woods. I got Sheamus. Drew McIntyre's on the bubble, though. He's like actually doing really good stuff. His matches have been solid, and he seems like he stepped it up another level over the past 2-3 months. And then as far as the women, like I'm always into Asuka. I always want to see what she's doing. Charlotte Flair, of course, is in the mix. Shayna, I like. Nia, I like. I do kind of like Nia. I know she takes a lot of shit from people, but she's not bad. And Naomi, of course, she's in the mix. Doudrop might find herself in my fave 5, though. Asuka, Naomi, Charlotte. I didn't mention Rhea. You know? I like Nikki Cross. There's a lot of talented women on Raw, actually. I like everybody. I like Nia. I like Shayna. I like Nikki Cross. I like Alexa when she's not doing voodoo and just wrestling. She's really good. The Raw women's division is not so bad. I like Natalya. I like Tamina. I don't think they're on Raw, but they were tonight. I like Mandy and Dana to a certain extent, although I don't think they're particularly great in the ring. But they do have a lot of really good in-ring wrestlers right now. Doudrop is good in the ring. Eva Marie is not, but Naomi is. Asuka is. Charlotte and Rhea are excellent. Like, there's some really good talent. Nikki Cross is good. Alexa Bliss is good. Shayna and Nia are good. There's some good wrestlers on Raw as far as the women. It's tough to pick a top 5, but Asuka's always number 1. Asuka will always be my number 1. She started the whole damn thing. She's the best. She made everybody step up their game. And she makes everybody step up their game still. Because when you're in the ring with her, you know you're in the ring with a legitimate professional wrestler. Asuka is a bad motherfucker. I'm a huge fan of hers. Her YouTube channel is great. She is great. All right, and you guys are great too. Angelo, you are great. You are the super chat leader. Douglas Hepburn, you are also great. You drop super chats tonight, and you're a member of the team, and you're just a good guy. Shout out to Nick. Nick and Doug out in Kingston, Ontario, always watching the show, always supporting the channel. Brian Firth as well, always supporting the show, always supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Patrick C. Hamilton, we would not be here without Patrick. We would not. Patrick was an early adopter of the super chat, early adopter. You might have been the first member. I think as soon as we had members, Patrick C. Hamilton became a member. So I appreciate you, Patrick. Incredible stuff. You know? The dedication, the support, I really mean it. I do appreciate it. And if I ever do find myself in Regina or Saskatoon or Saskatchewan at all, I'll be looking you guys up. You guys will be seeing me. If I find myself there, if I'm allowed to go there at any point, if there's like a major reason to go there, you know. I don't know what the tourist destinations are there, but hey, I haven't seen that part of the country. Why not? And I will definitely check you guys out because I appreciate you guys. I mean, unless you don't want to see me, which is totally understandable. I'm not that fun in real life. Okay? Love you very much. Appreciate you. Like the video. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. I know, Mako, you subscribed. Bob Cote, you subscribed. You guys, you might not be members, but you subscribe, and I appreciate that too. You know what I mean? If you're not a member, you're a regular, you've subscribed. If you're not a regular and you're brand new, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, become a member. If you're already a member, tell your friends to become members. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your friends about this guy Dave that you like very much. I will not be here on Thursday night because it's Saint Jean and it's also my son's birthday. So I'm taking the night off. No show Thursday. No Ringside Report MMA show on Thursday night. We're usually here Thursday nights, every Thursday without fail at 8 p.m. But it is a holiday in the province of Quebec and it's my son's birthday. So double holiday for me. So we are taking a very, very rare Thursday night off. Like super rare. Taking a night off on Thursday. I will be back on Friday night after SmackDown at 10 p.m. Eastern, possibly with Johnny North. Although you guys would probably know better than I do. What's the hockey schedule? Is there a game Friday? I guess there may be or may not be, right? Is there a game tomorrow? Yeah. The Canadians are playing tomorrow. So that means I guess they'd be playing again on Thursday. Right? So game 5 is tomorrow. And game 6, which will happen because it's 2-2, is on Thursday. So Friday, after SmackDown, Johnny North will not be watching hockey, and he will actually join me here to talk professional wrestling. Over the past few days, Johnny North has not been with me because the Canadians have been playing when wrestling's on, so he's not watching wrestling. He's watching the Canadians, so he can't talk about wrestling when it's over. So he hasn't been, and I've missed him. And he'll be back Friday night at 10 p.m., which is good for everybody, especially me, because, like, you know, I won't be doing all the talking. I get Johnny to kind of lean on and help me out. All right? Thank you, guys. Go Habs. I hope they win tomorrow. And, of course, go France on Wednesday against Spain. Allez les Bleus. See you again real soon.